Welcome to Amud Shiur. Thank you to everybody who came here today and on Zoom. Welcome to our YouTube subscribers and also to people who watch us on Torah anytime. We're starting the second parak of Maseches Makkos. Aren't we excited? The second parak of Makkos talks about Rotzeach b'shoigeg, the person who killed his friend by mistake. But the word mistake is a big word. There are different levels of mistakes, as we're going to see in today's page. Be'ezras Hashem, this shiur is for the Atzloch and Atzolo of the Gans Klal Yisrael. All the people should come back safe and alive from the captivity very, very soon with Mashiach. May we all be zoche to see Yeshua's very soon. Yudzayin b'Tammuz is the time to daven for the Geula even harder. Says the Heilige Mishnah, this shows Le'ilu Nishmat Tov Yimoyer Menachem Ben Akiva, Aros Bashalom Psalm Bes Moishe, Bes Moishe, Lafos Pnina Chai Bes Gul Aochel Besoch Shachal Yisrael. Says the Mishnah, Elo and Goylin. These are the people who are Chayav Golus. We're going to read the Psukim later on. The Parsha of Rotzeach B'Shoigeg is mentioned many times in the Torah. One second. Here. Let's restart Elon Agoylin. Yeah, the Torah talks many times about Rotzech B'Shgogo in Chumash Mois, Bamidbar, Dvorim, in many places. Elon Agoylin, these are the people who get to go to an Ir Miklat in case they were Rotzech B'Shoigeg. They have to go and run away from the Goyel Hadam, the blood redeemer. They have to run away into Ir Miklat, into a safe haven. These were 48 cities in Eretz Yisrael, 6 plus 42, the cities of the Levim. We're going to discuss that too, what's special about these cities. And that's basically the punishment of the Rotzech B'Shoigeg. If he doesn't run away to that city, then the relative may take away his life. Yes, true. In this week's Parsha, very good. Yeah, very good. And next week's Parsha, I think. Also, Ela and Agoylin, these are the people who get Golus. Ahoyrek nefesh bishgogo. A person who killed another soul, he killed someone, bishgogo, with no bad intention, unintentionally. What is the example for that? Oye me'agil b'ma'agila, v'noflo olov v'haragto. Me'agil ma'agila means the people back then, they would have a roof that was not really slanted, not like the European roof, but there was a little bit of a slant because of the teeth. In other words, they would add cement, like itum, like ceiling on the roof, and that would be slightly slanted in order to let the rain obviously go down. That's what they want. So it's a little bit slanted. Now, a person is working by, he's now basically doing the sealant on the roof. And he has this heavy duty and real heavy kli, that utensil, called ma'agila. And with that, he basically works backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards, yeah, to smoothen and to create that slant. Okay, so now, and it fell, it fell, he's standing on the roof doing that itum, and then the magila, which is a heavy piece of machinery, fell on the head of someone and killed him, lo aleinu. So now, the rule is, as we're going to see time and again, the rule when it comes to Rotzech B'Shoigeg is only when something is on its way down, then we say that's called Rotzech B'Shoigeg to be Mechayivim to go to an Ir Miklat. If something happened mistakenly on its way up, let's say someone is picking up a baseball bat up, he is going that way, right before it goes that way. So he goes that way and he killed someone because it's on its way up. Let's say not down that, up. I don't know how baseball works so much, yeah. Let's say whichever sports, yeah, the idea is to go up like above the head, and it killed someone that stood over there. He's not chayv. He's not chayv for whichever reason, but the Torah says the lotion vayapel, if he fell or dropped, then he's chayv golus. Otherwise, he's not chayv golus. So now, if the ma'agila, one second. If the ma'agila, if that machinery was on its way down, is doing forwards, down, backwards, up, and forwards, backwards, and forwards. As it was on its way down, it slipped from his hands and it fell on the head of the guy downstairs, yeah, there on the courtyard. Then he's chayev golus. Then it's called tzech b'shogeg. If it was on its way up, it's on its way up to do the tar this way, and then the machine fell, then he's not chayev golus. He's not chayav golus. That doesn't fall under the category of golus. That is what the Mishnah is telling us now. Give me one more example, then I'll hear you. Let's say with mishalshel b'chovis, a person is lowering down a chovis, a barrel of wine, from the roof. He's slowly, releasing it down, lowering it, and boom, it fell. Mistakenly, he wasn't careful enough, and he's shoygeg, he's chayav golus, because the barrel is on its way down. What?
It's killed or up.
No, because he went up with the Magila, and then it somehow released. It fell from his hands mistakenly. Okay, Veseda. Next case. Okay, now next case. Besulam. A person is going down a ladder. A person is going down the ladder. Venofal olov, and he himself fell on the guy downstairs, under the ladder. And he killed him. A mistake. He goes to Golus because he's on his way down. Boom, he fell, and with his own body, he basically bumped into the poor victim and killed him. The guy's a heavyweight guy. Then he's chayev Golus. It's a chiyuv. It's a kaporo. It's a noinish.
Fall down.
Fell.
Then it means it went up.
Yes, but you can also fall while you're going up. Let's say you are on your way up. You're going to see that soon. Now we're going to see the other way. Aval. Now we're going to see the other side. We're going to see the other side of the coin. Aval, but im hoya moshech b'magila. He was pulling up the magila. That tarring machine, that sealing machine, he goes up. He was moshech b'magila, and something happened. I don't know. He got startled, and something happened, and it, got out of control. It left his hands as the machine was on its way up. It fell. It fell on the victim and killed him. Of course, eventually it went down, avada. But as long as the rotzeach is involved, as long as the unintentional murder is involved, the last motion he did before it fell was on its way up. Then he's not chayav. Of course, eventually it fell. I hear you, avada. That's what I understood. Yeah. Look at Rashi. Look at the last Rashi, my friend, and then talk to me. Mamish, to answer your question. The Magila was on its way up, and it slipped from his hands. It slipped away. Nishmeta, Shmita, slipped away. And then, boom, it fell on the head of the guy. Then he is potu. Even though it fell eventually, true, doesn't matter. Because mitzad the rotzeach, it was on its way up. Mimela, the Torah is not mechayiv on it. I'm not going into reasons. I haven't seen yet the Rishonim here, but now this is the Pashup Pshat. Now, how you doile bechovis? Now, a person is drawing water from the well, from the the river. Doile is picking up, drawing up the water with the chovis. So what's the motion? Up the chovis. V'nifsak hachevel. Here, that's your answer. All of a sudden, the rope somehow got detached, disconnected. V'nofla olov. Now that barrel or that bucket, it's a heavy bucket with water, fell on the victim v'aragtoi and killed it. Oh, so what do you see? Of course it fell, but it was on its way up. I was on the way up, and then unexpectedly it fell. The other direction is potu. Let's say the person is going up a ladder. It's going up a ladder, up and unexpectedly he fell. He fell from the ladder and killed him. So there's no golus involved. This is the rule, says the Mishnah. As long as it's done while he is on its way down, the person himself was doing something downwards, himself or his utensils were on the way down, and then they completely fell down even more, goyle. Then he goes into golus. If it's not on its way down, it's on its way up, then eino goyle. Very good. Talk to Gemara. How do you know this is true? How do you know that this is the case, that everything is going up and not going down? And if you know the other way around, how do you know that only if things go down, then they fell, then he's chayiv? How do you know? And otherwise, no. So the pasuk says, it says in the pasuk, "Vayapel olav vayomois." Achipo derech nefila. So I'm reading now a pasuk from, one second. I'm reading now a pasuk from Bamidbar Lamed Hey, which, as you correctly said, is something which we're going soon to see soon in the parsha, if that's what you're saying. It says in Bamidbar Lamed Hey at the end of our chumash, Oy bechol even asher yomus ba belo rois, vayapel olo vayomois. He dropped it on him and he died. Then he goes into Golus, right? Vayapel olov vayomois. Only if the person was dropping it on him, vayapel, it's on its way down, on its way of nefila, of going down, then he is chayv Golus, otherwise, no. Okay, Beseder. So that's a drosha. And that follows us through the entire sugya. Tono Rabbanon. Now we're going to read more psukim and break down the psukim to learn many, many halachas regarding the Rotzech B'Shogeg. And before we continue, I'll give you the small introduction, which I think Ellen was trying to say before. There are, when we say mistake, mistake is a big word. Yeah? Mistake, the all types of mistakes. Some mistakes are closer to oines, when the person is forced completely out of control. And some mistakes are not such mistakes. They're mistakes, but they're closer to mazid. They're leaning more towards the mazid, to the bad intention side, the person who does it on purpose. You said there are 5 types of killing. Makes sense. Mazid, a person who picks up a gun and he kills on purpose, like we saw yesterday. That's b'mazid. A person who's complete oiness, whatever that is, yeah, has no way whatsoever he could have done differently. Absolutely unintentional. Shen kamoyu. That's oiness, right? In the middle, there's shgogo. The shoygeg is a guy who's not a mazid and not an oinus on the other hand. He has to go to golus. A person who's mazid mamish, you get him saif. He has to be executed. A person who's oinus, you don't do anything to. A person who's a shoygeg, he goes to Ora Miklat. Now, within shoygeg, there are gray areas, and some shoygeg is shoygeg a koroiv le'oines. What's koroiv? Close to. A shoygeg which is close to oines is potu, and surprisingly, shoygeg a korov le'mezid, shoygeg which is similar to chavana, to bad intention, it's a shoygeg who could have known better, is closer to the bad side, to the mezid, he's not getting golus either. Golus like middle of the road. Yeah, it's good enough for a mistake, yeah, but it's not good enough for mezid. If you're closer to mezid, you need a bigger kapara. Right? You're closer to Einus, and you don't need that kapara. It's very much a golden path over here. And from the following psukim, we're going to learn these halachas. Let's see. Tono bonon. Bishgogo, yeah, it says in the Torah, and this is a pasuk in Ba Midbar. It says in the same parsha over there, at the end of Chumash Bamidbar, v'nosha motzech mak nefesh bishgogo. What bishgogo? Prat lemezid, excluding a mazid. A mazid doesn't go to your miklat. Sounds like a chiddush. Bivli das. What does it say? Bivli das. There's another pasuk in the Chumash Bamidbar. It says bivli das, without knowledge. Yeah, bivli das. That's in Dvorim. Excuse me. That's in Dvorim. And it says over there prat lemiskaven, excluding a person who's doing it intentionally. First of all, I'm not sure what's the difference between Mezid and Miskaven. Okay, good question. But besides that, before that, the Gemara has a few other questions to ask. Frekt the Gemara. We're done so far with the Brisa, and now we have to understand what does the Brisa mean. Frekt the Gemara. Bishgoga prat lemiskaven. Mezid. Mezid pshita. Excuse me, no. Mezid pshita baktolu. A person is mezid. Of course, it doesn't go to your miklat. A mezid, mamish did it by mezid. Is miskaven. So the Torah says lo sirtzach, and if you rotzeach, says outright, you get misa. So what's the chiddush? Omar Rove, eim prat leoimer mutar. Unbelievable. Says Rove, a person who says mutar, a person who really never ever learned in his life, he's not allowed to kill according to the Torah. He thinks you're allowed to kill according to Torah. Yeah, mamish on the big, very, very big Amoretz. He thinks maybe he knows it's also by law, but he never heard that according to Jewish religion, you're not allowed to kill. He thought you're allowed to kill because he thinks, I don't know, that's what he thinks. He never learned otherwise. Okay. So
Possibly says that if a person kills unintentionally, goes to the city of refuge, if he doesn't go there, then the relatives can take revenge on him. So therefore, they're allowed to murder.
that's the source of his mistake. Okay, maybe.
And maybe that's what Robin means, that you're allowed to murder.
No. You're trying to say,
No,
why would people think you're allowed to kill? Because they heard about the blood avenge, and they think they take it, they take it too far, and they said that's why everyone's allowed to kill everyone. They misinterpret the pasuk. Maybe it could be. Maybe they heard that people based in kill people once every 7 years, and therefore they think that that's allowed. Maybe I hear, possibly. But Lamaisa, I hear, nice. Could be that's the cause for such a sad mistake. The person thinks you're allowed to kill. You're allowed to kill. They think you're allowed to kill once 70 years. You have once in a lifetime chance. Amar la Abaye, fragt Abaye to Rava, I omer mutar onusu. If a person really, honestly thought, genuinely thought you're allowed to kill, he's an onus. He thought it's absolutely fine halachically to pick up your gun and kill your friend, a good friend. No, he thought that's allowed. If so, that's an onus. That's an onus. Right? It's an onus, so he's mamish forced. He had no clue whatsoever. Amarle, no. Says Rova, that's not true. Just the other way around, says Rova. Shani Omer, I say, Omer mutar kov lemezidu. No. Rashi explains in Daf Tes. Rashi says that Omer mutar is close to mezid. He belongs to the group of people who are unintentional, but they're too close to the bad side, to the left side, to the mezid. Why? Says Rashi in Daf Tes, you should have learned. You really didn't know that people are allowed to kill? How? You're a Jew. How much of an Amoritz can you be? Such a basic thing, the 10 Commandments. Many people know the 10 Commandments. Yeah, and you're telling me that they don't keep all of them. At least you know it's also right. And therefore, Korv Lamezidu. And therefore, Enochinam is Potu, and that's a Chiddush Torah. Although the person is, it's a mistake, but it's not such a forgivable mistake. It's Korv Lamezid, Shkoyach. That's a chiddush of the Torah, that people who are on the bad side, on the more mazid side, such mistakes are not forgiven by going to Ir Miklat. Now we don't say that he gets death. He doesn't get executed either. What do you do with him? A good question. Well, Maas, he doesn't go to Ir Miklat, he falls between the cracks. He doesn't go to Ir Miklat, and he doesn't get executed either because it's not a complete mazid. No, they can't get him up. No. No. As far as I know, no. Goel Adam is only if somebody can run away, not the other way, as far as I know. Bivlidas. Now let's read the second part of the brisa. If a person does it without intention, okay, what does that mean? Prat lemiskaven. We said in the brisa, a person who is miskaven, who has kavono to do what? To kill the guy. He doesn't go to a miklat. Same question. Miskaven pshita barktolu, of course. If a person meant to kill the guy, well, he meant to kill the guy. Then he's barktolu. Go and slash his head. Once you know that that this is true, yeah. Amaraba, no. There is a chiddush here. Prat lemiskaven laurgis behema vorgis odom. Let's say a person had kavono, not chas v'shalom, to kill the person himself. What's the name of the victim? Cham Yankel. Cham Yankel Zechon al Rocha, he died. That roitzech b'shoigeg, he didn't mean to kill Cham Yankel. He meant to kill a dog. There was a bad dog right next to Cham Yankel, and he wanted to kill the dog, and he's not such a great sniper. He didn't go to the army, Mamish yeah, he went to the back offices. So he wanted to kill the dog, and by mistake, he killed a person. So there was kavana to kill something, but not a person. So you killed the wrong target, you didn't aim right, and you killed the person. Lakuti v'orages Yisrael. He wanted to kill a kuti, a goy. Let's say kuti is a goy for the sake of the sugya, and he killed Israel. Lenefel v'orag ben kayama. He wanted to kill a nefel. He wanted to kill a baby that was going to die. Yeah, and therefore, even after birth, a baby there's no chance of living. He was born in the 8th month. Yeah, for the pregnancy back then, such babies had no chance on life. If Orag ben Kayama killed a real baby, a good living baby, such a person is potu. Why is he potu? Again, because miskaven for this and killed that, it's called lemezid. It's too similar to mezid. So says the Rambam. Yeah, you're too close for comfort, and that is already not so forgivable. It's called lemezid, and you can't just do away with going to an Ir Miklat. We're reading more of the psukim of the Torah with more droshes and more information about. This is very basic information about Osech B'Shogeg. It says, and this here we have to read the whole pasuk from Bamidbar Lamedei, again towards the end of the Chumash, We're going to see this, I think next week. V'im befesa bepeta, if surprisingly, bepeta is a surprise, suddenly, below Eva, with no hatred, hadofa, he pushed him, or hishlich olav kol kli, or he threw any kind of vessel on him, below tzdia, without tzdia, either means without ambushing, without aiming, or below tzdia means he didn't put it to his side, but he threw it far away. We're going to see all that later. Let's see now the Gemara. Tano Abona, back to the Gemara. In bepeta, what does peta tell me? Suddenly. The killing was sudden and absolutely unexpected. What do you do with the guy? Ir miklat, run away. The girl Adam is after you. That is true to tell me, to exclude prat lekeren zovis. Keren zovis means as follows. Let's say a person walks down the street innocently with a knife in his hand. He's on his way to do, I don't know, shchita. Not so careful. He's walking with a knife in his hands, right? And he's walking down the street, and very quickly he turns the corner. Yeah, he turns the corner to the right or to the left, and oy, what a mistake. There's a guy walking ahead of him, and they bumped into each other. And sadly, the knife is now in the heart of the victim. So it was, very misfortune. Yeah, what a misfortune. Yeah. And there was such a mistake, an accident, at the corner of the street. Lots of car accidents happen like that. Such a person is korev le mezid. Why? Because it's not peta. Peta means it's very sudden. But if you walked a meter or two or three before the site of accident with a knife in your hands, right, you should have been more careful, right? The guy bumped into me. Thank you. You should have slowed down. Or why were you so stupid to have the knife exposed in your hands, right? So although you did not mean to kill him, and we believe you, but lemaisa, you are worse than the regular Otzech B'Shoigeg. You're closer to Mezid, and you are not exempt by just going to the Ir Miklat. Beloy Eva, that's the continuation of the pasuk without any former hatred. Yeah, we know that there's no history between the two people, the killer and the victim. They don't have any eva between them, any animosity. Prat l'soine, excluding the soine. A soine, let's say a person, as it says in a different place in the Torah, v'lo soneloi mitmol shilshom. What's etmol shilshom? The day before yesterday. Let's say the guy, which guy? Well, the murderer, did not speak to the victim for 3 days. He gave him silence treatment. Good morning. Good evening, how are you? Not talking to him for 3 consecutive days. Then we define him as a soine, and we highly suspect that the accident wasn't such an accident. You can't kill him, you can't execute him, because you can't prove it. On the other hand, it's considered as korov le mezid. Korov le mezid is too bad, too severe, to just go to their miklat. Now, according to Rashi, Machlokes Rashi and Rambam, according to the Pasuk Pshat of the Gemara to Rashi, we're going to see words that actually include the Rotzech, more cases to Rotzech B'Shoigeg. Hadofoi, I told you Hadofoi here means like to push, yeah? Shedochfoi begufoi, dochfoi begufoi, which means, let's say the person did not drop any item on the victim, he himself fell on him. Rashi says, below kavana, below miskaven. Basically, he pushed him with his body with no kavana. He gave him a very strong push, yeah, with no bad intention, definitely not to kill. But again, but that is considered something you are chayav according to Rashi. So it sounds like, because hadofoi, we don't say la'apuke, prat. The Rambam though says no. The Rambam says that if he pushed him with his body, and chinami, it's considered as korv lemezid and is potu. That's what the Rambam says. Yeah, if you pushed with your own body, not with the kli, that's too close. It's too suspect. We suspect too much, and it's similar more to mezid than you potter. That's according to the Rambam. Oy hishlich olav. We're continuing to quote bits and pieces from the psukim. Oy hishlich olav. What's hishlich olav? He dropped something on him. What does that mean? Lahavi yerida shitzorech aliyah. Ooh. That's a big business. What's Yerida Shitzorech Aliyah? Look at Rashi, and then we'll explain it. Rashi is a few lines above where we are. Yeah, Yerida Shitzorech Aliyah. Says Rashi, Lo v'yeridish yitzorach aliyah, kegoin, haroitz laharim yod b'koyach, v'garzen b'yodoi. A person wants to give a good lift with his hand, to give a good pickup, and the garzen, the axe, is in his hand. Umashpil tchilas gufay v'shoichel lefonov. First, he squats in order to give a good pickup, right? In order to gain more momentum, he's squatting, and then boom, right? So as he's going down, b'ashpalosay horag, as he's going down, now listen to this, yerida tzarech aliyah. He's now with his entire body squatting down quick with the garzen in order to go 1, 2, 3, boom. He wants to gain more momentum, yeah, by going down and then up, right? On his way down, he killed someone. There was a baby, a kid, somebody lying there, and on his way down, unintentionally, he killed a guy. So that specific motion, there are two ways to look at it. That specific motion is going down. But the general reason, the big picture, the reason why it's going down is in order to go up. The motion in general is up. Whichever sport he's playing or whichever work he does with the tool, up is the direction. He's going down in order to go up, right? Therefore, what? Yeah, like in a jumping board, you go boom and then up, right? So therefore, we say, don't tell me that now he is potu. Don't tell me, listen, the general concept, the general goal, the idea was going up, and going up is potur. Uh-oh, back to the Gemara. We're saying no. Hishlich olav lehavi. Lehavi means to include. Yerida shitzorach aliyah. Says Rashi, I'm now ignoring the Rambam, excuse me. Rashi says, including Yerida shitzorach aliyah. Although the general idea is going up, but since right now, at the second of death, your axe or your baseball bat or whichever bat, your hockey stick, I don't care, was on its way down, so our camera caught you, so to speak, when you're on your way down, you're chayav. Even though the general idea was in order to later gain momentum for going up. And you still are chayav. And therefore, that's what we say, lehishlich olav, an extra pasuk, that any dropping down, even with the purpose of going up, you're chayav. Okay, chayav golus, that is, yeah? Below it's dia. Oh, so as I told you, I started, stuttering with the words below it's dia. Tzdia means loshen sad. Sad means a side. Below it's tzdia, right? Tzdia means, let's say, lo niskaven litzaded litzad sheni. A person did not mean to go to the other direction, then he's chayev. What does it mean he did not mean to go to the direction? Prat lemiskaven litzad zeh v'hol chola litzad acher. Yeah. Lemaisa, I think, my own understanding is, tzdia means to aim. Yeah, letzaded, to go to the right side. Tzad, right? So now, below tzdia, let's say the person wanted the tool, the stone, the whatever, to go to one direction, and he went to another direction. Yeah, he wanted to go there to the right. He went to the left. He's a very bad sports player. He went to the completely different direction. He's potter. Why is he potter? Welcome to the new section. That's called leoines. Why? Because he really hit it off mark. I wanted to throw it this way, and I'm such a lousy ball player, he went the other direction. Clumsy. And then it killed the other guy. The guy was there, and I wanted to throw over here. What happened? I don't know. Because this is so bad, not so bad. The action is less connected to the person. It's called leoines. It's more similar to a real mistake, to a complete mistake, and therefore it's potter. That says the Rambam. Yes, obviously, we all know everything is mishamayim. At the end of the day, the guy deserved it, but we also have to deal with the otzeach. Yeah, true.
The sniper missed Trump's head and hit his ear.
Yeah, the Trump guy. Yeah, the Trump killer. He was. What are they going to do to him? They're going to send him to a miklat, maybe.
No,
Miklat in jail.
he's in heaven at the moment.
They killed him.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not updated with the news. Asher loit soda. Now comes the pasuk about throwing to the side. What asher loit soda? Let's say the person did not want to throw it to his side, to his own side. He wanted to throw it far away. He wanted to throw it to the right place, yeah, but he didn't know that there are people over there. right? He wanted to throw it to that point over there, but he just didn't know there was a person there. Then he's chayiv misa. Again, let's say the guy's a good sniper, is a very good, very dexterous kind of a worker, and he wanted to throw the X for whichever reason on that spot, but he didn't see there was a person there. He didn't see the person. He was high up in the tree, throwing the X exactly it hit where he wanted it to hit. That's a good loit soda. He didn't throw it to the side. He threw it to the right place. However, he didn't know the guy is there. Then he's chayev, excluding what? Let's say the person wanted to get it to that direction. Let's say I'm in a tree. Yeah, I have to my right and to my left. I wanted to throw it to my left. I'm not such a bad sniper, such a bad shooter, but instead I wanted it to hit in 2 meters away from me and hit it 4 meters. Then already, right? Then already it's considered to be not chayev. Then it's not chayev. Then it's considered as oines because I wanted to, and boom, it fell in number 4. It fell 2 ames away from him. Oy vavoy. That's so unexpected, and he is potur. Vasher yovos reu bayar. Here we quote another posuk. Yeah, this is a posuk again from Dvorim. The posuk says, I'm reading the posuk inside from the sidebar. Vasher yovoy es re'ehu bayar lachtov eitzim v'chulei. A person came with his friend to lachtov, to fell the wood, to cut the wood in the forest. They came to the forest, and then so and so happened. Why is it relevant? Is the Torah giving me all these picturesque flowery descriptions? Who cares if it's in the forest or in the seaside or in the Tachana Merkazit? What is it telling me? Says the Braise, "Vasher yoveso bayar, ma yar reshus lanizak velamazik likones lesham, afkol reshus lanizak velamazik likones lesham." Which means, just like a forest is an example for a public place, everyone's allowed to go to the forest. Forest normally, not always, is not a private place. A forest is owned by, I don't know, the government, nobody, Hefker, it's just a forest. And everyone's allowed to go there freely as much as they want. It's a free-for-all area. And therefore, such a place, since everyone can go there, then you're chayev if you kill the guy rotzech b'shoigeg. But let's say there's a place when there is no reshus. There's a place where there's no permission to go there for everybody. And the rotzeach hit him on the head by mistake, even though he was just shoigeg, not mezid, not oines, is potu. Meaning what? Look at the Rambam. The Rambam gives an example. The Gemara later, again, we'll talk about it. Let's say you come to my house without permission. I don't hate you. We don't have anything bad. It's not like I didn't speak to you for 3 days. Right now, it's not convenient. Yeah, you come, you you very politely knock on the door and come in uninvited. Nobody invited. I'm having supper with my family. Nobody invited you right now. I'm sorry. I'm giving you a look. You don't get the looks. Okay. Some people. And then what? And then by mistake, someone, me or my wife or my kids, chas v'shalom, they're fixing something up, yeah? And they fall, and they're going down the ladder, and they fall on you, they're potter. Somebody went down the ladder and welcomed the unwelcome guest. By boom, falling on him. Otherwise, he would be chayev. But if the person came uninvited, then the rotzech b'shogeg is not chayev. That I'm not sure if this is to do with shogeg or mezid, or simply this is not where the Torah spoke about. If you're allowed to be there, like, I'm not expecting you to be there. You're not supposed to be there, right? That's the way I describe the picture. Maybe I'm wrong. We're going to see later on the Gemara. The Pashup Pshat, that's what the Rambam says. Rambam gives an example. What happens if a person came into a workshop of for example, a dangerous place. He comes to the workshop of the woodcutter, of the not blacksmith, the carpenter. That's a simple word. He came to the workshop. The carpenter keeps cutting and cutting, boom, and everything flies all over the place. And you came in. I didn't expect you. What do you want? Yeah, it's my carpentry shop is my castle. I'm cutting and everything's flying in the air, sharp pieces, or some other dangerous kind of factory. You came uninvited. You didn't see the sign, staff only, danger zone. You came in. I didn't see you. I didn't see you at all. I'm not supposed to see you. In the forest, you have to be aware. Maybe other people are here. I'm not the king of the world. I'm not the only one. Maybe there's a guy hidden there in the corner. I have to be extra careful. It's so thick, the forest. Maybe someone's there. But if it's my own carpentry shop, I'm not supposed to expect any guests. You came uninvited, and therefore, if some kind of wood, boom, fell into his brains and cut it open, Khalila, then the carpenter is potu. That's a general pshat. We will see more on that later, Be'ezus Hashem. Boy minei Rabbi Abo me Rabbi Yochanan. Oh, here comes a very, very interesting question of Rabbi Abo that will be with us till the end of the Shiur. Be'ezras Hashem, Nisei Hashem, that we can give Shiur every day. Baruch Hashem. Boy minei Rabbi Abo me Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Abo asked Rabbi Yochanan. Yeah, they both lived in Eretz Yisrael. Haya oile basulam. A person was going up a ladder. V'nishmat hashliva mitachtov. One of the rungs of the ladder basically fell. Yeah, some got unhooked, unhinged. Yeah, v'nishmat hashliva under him mitachtov, or cracked. Boom, v'noflo. The rung fell down. V'horgo, and killed the person underneath. Sharp, strong, boom, right into his head, into his heart. Mahu. What's the halacha? What's the question? Ki hai gavna, such a case, aliyahi or yeridahi? Is it considered going up or going down? Let me explain the question. Mitzad the general picture, the person is going up. And we said, if any person is going up, although something fell down, if he himself fell down, right, boom, he fell down unexpectedly, he's potu. It is going up. It's a chainy. What do you actually do when you go up and up a ladder? Yeah, you put all your weight, 110 kilos by some people, you press on the rung, right? And the rungs are ki'ilu going down. Hopefully they're stable, so they won't really go down. But you're putting all your weight, boom, down. Your feet are, right, heavy, down on the shliva, on the rung. So, and then the rung kept going down. Instead of the rung giving the contra to your 110 kilos, what does it do? It basically succumbed to the weight and continued its way down. So that's a very interesting philosophical question. Do you look at the person's general direction, which is up, or do you go by each and every step on the rung, and the rung is, if not safe enough, it's on his way down. So how do you judge that? Yeah, it's a very interesting zach. So Omar Lei, Rabbi Yochanan answered, Kvar negata. You're not touching upon a subject which we've learned already. Yes, we said before about the baseball player, whichever sports player, the guy with the X. If I go down with the X in order to go up, right? We see when there's a mixture of going down and going up, you're chayev. So to here, you should be chayev. That's how Rashi learns. You should be chayev over here. Why? Because as long as there's any yerida involved, right? I'm going down in order to go up. I'm putting all my weight. Yeah, I'm not flying up with a kite, with a hot air balloon. Yeah, I'm going down in order to go up. Step down in order to go up. Therefore, we judge it as yerida for aliyah, and therefore it should be chayev. Again, the Rambam says otherwise. The Rambam says it would be potter, actually. Rashi is learning chayev. Okay? The Rambam is very different. I'm sticking to Rashi now. Therefore, it's chayev. Eisive. That's all very nice, but now we're going to question that from a brisa. It says in the brisa, Zeklal, this is the rule, Kol shebederch yiridosoi goyle, right? And actually, we saw that in our very own Mishnah, right? We saw it in our own Mishnah. Here it sounds as if it's a brisa, but really it's a Mishnah. Yeah, look what it says. Our own Mishnah said, Kol shebederch yiridosoi goyle. Now, kol klal. Whenever we say klal, we're coming to include a case which is not explicitly written. Klal, kol shebederech yiridosoi goyle. Any person on his way down gets golus, if he killed the guy like that. Shelo b'derech yiridosoi eno goyle. Oh, if he's not on his way down, he's not goyle. Shelo, that's end of Mishnah. Let's try and understand the Mishnah. Shelo b'derech yiridosoi letuyimai. Yeah, if you're not going down, but you're going, if you're not going down, to say that if you're not going down, shelo b'derech yiridosoi, you're potur. You are potter if you're not going down, even in cases of a gray area. Lav le'tuike gavna sounds like your case. Let me explain. We see that we expand the case of what? Of going down. Kol shebloi b'derech yiridosoi eino goyle, which means as long as you're not really going down and only down, then you're not goyle. So case which is a mixture of up and down, you shouldn't be goyle. And why are you telling me, Rabbi Yochanan, that he is? We see kol, any guy who's somehow going up, even though there's also Yerida involved, he too is not goyle, ain't a goyle. Oh, sounds like this is our case, a mixture of up and down together. So you see, you're wrong, Rabbi Yochanan. That's what the Mishnah is coming to tell me, right? Zog the Gemara. Oh yeah. Frag the Gemara. Now the Gemara wants to defend Rabbi Yochanan. What did Rabbi Yochanan say? Rabbi Yochanan basically told us that a mixture of up and down, Yerida Litzor Chaliyah, even in such a case that each and every step down in order to go up, in order to go up, you are chayev. The Mishnah sounded like more your potter. Zog the Gemara, no, you're misreading the Mishnah. According to you, the Makshan, the questioner, Kol Shabadech Yiridosai Latuyemai. How did you explain Kol Shabadech Yiridosai? Very good. What did we say in the Mishnah? Anybody who's somehow involved with going down is already chayev. You just said that's not true. You said that mixture of up and down, right? You're potter. And here we see any Yerida, involved Yerida and Aliyah, then what? Then you are chayev. You want to say potter, he would say chayev. Doesn't make sense. Yeah? If you want to tell me that any, the word any means a mixture of both, then the Mishnah is contradicting itself, right? One time we say a mixture is chayev, then we say a mixture is potter. Make up your mind. Ela.
There's word which is important here is ascent and descent.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Up and down. I call it Yerida and Aliyah.
If you're
Right.
going up the ladder, if you are ascending the ladder,
Yeah.
right? Obviously,
Ela must be our Mishnah is coming letuye katzav. Mashma that part of the Mishnah is coming to add, to include the case of the butcher. Soon we'll see what the case of the butcher is. Achanami letuye katzav. So to the Reisha, both Reisha and Seifa of the end of the Mishnah of any ascending and any descending, they're not talking about the case of the ladder going up the ladder with putting your weight. We're talking about a different case of the butcher's case. What's the butcher's case? The Tanya, look at the Brisa. Katzav, a katzav is the butcher. Shoy mekatzev, and he's cutting the meat. Big heavy, you call it an axe, a big heavy knife, cutting knife. The butcher's knife is big and heavy, right? And he's cutting the meat. Oh, now all kinds of motions he does while he's cutting the meat. Some pieces are harder, some are lighter. Tanachada, one brisa says, Lefonav chayav le'achav potu. Beware, this is not ascending and descending now. Lefonav means any motion he does in front of his body, ahead of his body is chayav. Motions that are done behind his body is potu, is exempt from killing. If he killed anybody by killing them behind his back. Vitanya idach, there are 4 brises. The second brisa says, "V'tani idach ben lefonov ben lachav chayev," whether the motion of the knife that killed the poor victim is either done ahead, in front of him, or behind him, behind the butcher. Both cases is chayev, contradicting. The 4 brises, each one contradicting the other. V'tanya idach, a third case. Sorry, yeah. V'tanya idach. Ben lefono ben lachrav chayev. The third one, either ahead or behind him, both cases is chayev if he killed the victim. V'tanya idach, the 4th brisa, ben lefono ben lachrav potu. Wow. The other case says whether the motion of the knife was ahead or behind, both of them are potur. Velo kasha. How can you explain 4 brises? One of them says that sometimes the head is potur chayev, the other way sometimes both chayev, both potur. How do you understand this whole butchery case? It's a whole whole bloodshed. What's going on? Velo kasha. And we're going to see Rashi now. I promise you, this will be seen very carefully with Rashi. Kan b'yerida shelefonov v'aliyah shelachov. The basic rule is, I don't care whether the knife is ahead of the butcher or behind him. What I care about is the type of motion. Was the motion yerida? Was the motion downwards? That can happen both downwards here or downwards there. Right? Sometimes, right, you want to go like this, boom, in order to go further down, right? You go all the way back, and it's already behind your back going down, right? And then, boom, you go down like that. So, when he goes down ahead of him, then he's chayev, he's potu. In other words, if behind his back was up like that, behind the back, but ascending is potu. That's the first case. Kan b'aliyah shelefonov, yerida shelachov. Aliyah shelefonov is up in front of his body, but he's on his way up and down behind him. On this is potu, and on boom down is chayev. I don't care whether it's back or front All I care about is the immediate motion of the knife. Is it going up or down? Kan בעלייה של לפניו kan בירידה של לפניו ושל אחריו. The third brisa that said he's always chayav is going down forwards, going down backwards. Kan בירידה של לפניו ושל אחריו. When it's going up this way in front of him and up that way, both cases he is potu. Let's see Rashi. Basically, I did explain it to you. All we care about, it's one simple rule. These are 4 brises because they all want to maybe accentuate, show us how important it is. All we care about is the motion of the kli. And this is what the Mishnah is coming to tell me. Zeh HaKlal is telling me, don't tell me that happened. I think that's what it means to say. Don't tell me that whatever happens behind my back, let's say it's shoygig, I'm potter. No. Or below shoygig, yeah? It's less than shoygig. No. Or not everything that's ahead of me, I'm not always chayiv. That's the chiddush, which means, let's say I have a motion of going up ahead of me. Yeah, in front of me is the sports equipment, the bat or the butcher, and go down and then up ahead of me. Well, maybe it's mazid, it's in front of my eyes. No, because it's going up and potter. What about the back? What about the back? Now, when I'm going on my back, but back lowering, descending behind my back, like a good sport, back in order to go front, boom, in order to go this. Yeah, you want to kill a fly. Yeah, boom, and then boom. So if your boom was down, although it's behind you, because it's not my fault, it was behind me. No, because it was on its way down, you're chayiv. That's really the rule. And that's what the Mishnah came to tell us. But the Mishnah did not talk about a combination of up and down. In other words, when you are on your way down backwards, you're purely only down. And when you're up in front of your body, you're purely only up. We're talking about a case where up and down are very, very intertwined. As you're going up, you're going down the same second. It's more intricate than the regular Aliyah and Yerida. Yeah, the case of Abiyabo is every second, get very philosophical and get your slow motion camera. The person going up the ladder, every second is also going down. He's pushing his weight on the rung. And that case wasn't discussed in the Mishnah. That case wasn't even hinted to in the Mishnah. And therefore, that case may stay still as a good question. That could still is a good question. And therefore, Rabbi Yochanan has every right to say that this is considered as Yerida L'tzorech Aliyah, down in order to go up, and you should be Chayev. And the Mishnah just didn't talk about it. Rabbi Yochanan has the freedom to say whatever he wants. Yes, you're right. Yes, you're right. Yes, you're right. No, actually, yes and no. The intention is to go up. You talk about the letter or about the butcher? But the butcher's the intention. You're right. Yes. Right now, his intention is to go down. He's chayiv, or to go down backwards. He's chayiv. Very good. I prefer continuing the Gemara, and then we'll see the Rashi. But I gave you the general picture here. I want to get to the Mishnah, and then I hope to have time. Then we'll see the Rashi. Leima ketanoi. Now we're attempt to say that case of the letter going up letter, and the rung fell down. The rung itself is the one falling down. But I just want to make it clear. I want to make it clear again, something which I should have told you before. When I keep talking about combination of going up and down, stam a regular guy who goes up a letter, we view it as going up like the intention. True. Let's say, as we said in the Mishnah, if a person goes up the ladder, he himself got unstable and he fell, then what? We said before, she's potu. Because the guy himself, the 110 kilo guy who's going up the ladder, that guy himself, he was completely on his way up. And we ignore the fact that the rungs are being stepped on. Because his own body, as you very nicely said, the kavanah, the intention, is up. And therefore, if he fell, he's potur, right? Mashe'en ken, if the rung is the one who fell, that's different. Because you're pushing the rung down. If you focus with the camera on the rung, and the one that killed the guy underneath is the rung, also the fault of the person. Of course, I was joking. The rung itself killed it, obviously, because of the guys pushing. But because as you're going up, you're pushing the rung down, and the rung was unstable, then says Rabbi Yochanan, we view the rung itself as a tool in your hands, and just like you drop a tool, you chayev, No tools have das, obviously. But if I'm going down with my anything, with my knife, with my hammer, and I go down, and then it fell further, of course I'm chayiv. So too, the rung is dealt with separately, and I pushed the rung down, and the rung kept going even more down, much more than expected, and killed the guy. Then he's chayiv. That's the idea of Rabbi Yochanan, right? That's how he views the comparison to Aliyah of Yerida letzorich Aliyah. Now we want to claim it's a machlokes tanoim. Lemek tanoim. Hoya oil besulam. Same case exactly. We're in the last narrow line with the first wad lan. Hoya oil besulam. The person goes up the ladder. V'nishmat a shliva mitachtov. A shliva, a rung fell underneath and killed lo aleinu, the poor guy. Tani chad chayiv. V'tani dech patur. Look. One brisa says chayiv, one brisa says patur. Mazel tov, machloikes, my love. What's the case over here? Ba'akamiflagi, must be. That's machloikes of the brises. The ma'asav yerida, you ma'asav aliyahi. Very nice. One of them thinks it's a yerida. The other one says it's an aliyah. Very good. One of them says, listen, let's look at the rung separately. The rung was pushed on and wasn't stable. So you push down the rung, Mr. Yochayev. The other one says, no. As Yitzchak said, we're looking in the whole direction. The direction is Aliyah Ruchnis. Is Aliyah is ascending up to Hashem, ascending. So it's not Chayev. So L'chor, Rabbi Yochanan is Machlokes Tanoim. So the Gemara is now rejecting and saying, no, it's not necessarily the Machlok. That's not the point of Machlokes necessarily. The Kula Alma Aliyahi. Could be that everyone agrees that this is considered, generally speaking, is going up, not to go to Rabbi Yochanan. Veloy kasha, and it's not difficult. Kan lenezikin, kan legolus. This is a very, 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 very important line. Guys, tell me, what happens if someone drops a hammer and someone gets hurt, damaged, injured by his hand? Now needs surgery on his hand. Chayav or potur? Chayav to pay all the nizikin except for boishes? Chayav. The Mishnah says in Daf Chafvav Amud Aleph in the bottom of the page, interacted Babakana, it says Odam Mod Lo'ilam. A person should always be very careful when it comes to nizikin. Even if you go to sleep next to kelim, I was asleep. Thank you. You went to sleep, not too close to other people's kelim. In your sleep, you were rolling it. You broke the kli. You're chayav. Why? Odamod loilam. Hashem is expecting more of human beings. Mashenkin, by killing, there's a special dispensation. Not that we allow it, chas v'sholem, but in case it happened by mistake, we don't kill the guy. We send him for golus. Says the Gemara, very good. Really, it's going up. So by nizikin, we say, if I'm on my way up, no. If I'm talking about killing, I went up. Then what happens? The rung fell from the weight of my foot. Boom! It fell down. Mitzad golus were more lenient, and we say, no, you don't deserve golus because you're on your way up. But let's say the guy, it went into not his heart, went to the stomach, made a hole in the stomach. Yeah, he needs a surgery. Then I'm chayiv. Why am I chayiv? Rather, there's the chiyuv. Why? Odamod lo'ilam. By Nezikin, there's the din Odamod lo'ilam, two separate halachas, Nezikin and Ratzicha. Iboy Seima, another alternative explanation to reconcile the Machloikes, Haveho legolus. Yeah, really, both cases we're talking about golus. We're really talking here about golus and not about Nezikin. The guy underneath died, so why do we all of a sudden say Chayav Rapoter? Lo kasha had itliya. Ha-de-lo itliya. In other words, there was the shliva. How safe was it? There was already wormy. It was already wormy. It wasn't so stable. Oh, and you stepped on it. Not so safe, right? It was a wooden one, and there was a bit of worms already that weakened it from the inside. So if it was matliya, you chayev. That's clearly called yorida, because as you step on it, it's sagging on under your feet. So if it's sagging, that's called yerida lekula alma. Then everyone agrees with Rabbi Yochanan. And then if it goes even further down, besides it's always like cracks under your feet, and you say Tehillim as you go up the ladder. You make sure your wife doesn't watch you, and you really, really have to get that nice cake over there on the top. You have good incentive. It's the tiniest, yeah. You go, you step, and each step it's a shtickle cracking. Then you chayav golus. Why? Because it's really going down. It's really sagging under your feet. Vashenkin, if it's nice and sturdy and strong, 1 second, and then you really went up, that's called going up, not going down, and then you are potur. Up in prayer. The voice say, third option, why do we say sometimes going up the ladder and the rung fell, chayiv or potur? Both cases are, there's no tolas, it's otherwise safe. Mitzad, it doesn't sag under your feet, it's not weak wood, but, v'lo kasha, or the mehadak v'ad lo mehadak, ay. Was it properly stable or not? Was it mehudak? Was it properly stuck and fastened into the sides of the letter or not? Says Rashi, Moisa shliva mola hanekev shutchu v'achuza yofe enkan derech yirida. It's not called going down. I'm stepping on the ladder. Let's say it's metal one, like you imagined. Metal, nice, strong wood. You call down. Which down? It can hold 200 kilos, and I'm only 110. It's not called going down, stepping on it. Mashenkin, if it's not so mehudak, it's a little bit shaky. It's okay, it's safe, but you feel the weight of your feet. Then it's called going down. And then Rabbi Yochanan was right. It's going down, and you are chayev. Okay, we won't see the Rashi today. Atzlocha uvrocha. Thank you. May you have an easy fast. Mashiach should come soon, and we'll welcome him with our Torah and mitzvos. Thank you to everyone on Torah Anytime and the YouTube.
No.
Shkoyach, brocha, v'atzlocha.